Hello, this is Mr. Kinyanola, and I'm going to show you how to find the surface area of a sphere. So, before we go over the surface area, let's go over what a sphere is. So, a sphere is a ball-shaped figure. So, almost any ball you can think of, a ping pong ball, a basketball, not a football, planets like the Earth, Pluto. Those are examples of spheres. Now, if you cut it in half like this, okay, this is not, this right here, this half of a sphere is not called a half a sphere or a semi-sphere. This is called a hemisphere. So say it to yourself, hemisphere. Hemisphere is half of a sphere, cut in half. So parts of a sphere, so if you look at it, if this was just two-dimensional, this would just be a circle. And what do circles have? They have radii, a radius. So same with a sphere, it has a radius. So if you look at this cross section where we cut it in half, so radius goes from the center of the sphere or the core of the sphere to the part of the sphere. So the radius goes from here to here, here, and not just on that part right there, but also the radius goes from here to the part of the sphere. So radius goes in all directions in 3 dimensions of the sphere. So that's what makes up a sphere, the radius. And half of a sphere is called a hemisphere. And one more vocabulary word. So this right here, this cross section. So if we cut it in half, so this is a cross section. The cross section of a sphere is the circle. And this right here, so the distance going around this cross section, okay, is a circle. Well, it's the shape of a circle, but this distance, okay, you may think, yes, it's the circumference of this circle, but it's also called, so this right here is called a great circle, or the great circle for the sphere. So if we drew if we traced one point of the sphere and went all the way around, like the equator or the prime meridian, I think, or the Tropic of Cancer, those are all great circles for the Earth. So this right here, just think of the equator for this sphere. That's called the great circle. So great circle, hemisphere, this is the cross section, which is a circle, and they all have spheres made out of a bunch of radii that go from the core to any parts of the sphere. So let's find the surface area of this sphere. So remember, surface area is how many squares you can fit on the surface. And so looking at this two-dimensional view of a sphere, the two-dimensional view, if we smash it, it would be a circle. And the formula for the area of a circle is, if you guys remember, pi r squared. But that's just for a circle. But let's make it into 3 dimensions. So if we took a circle, took a bunch of circles, so the question is, how many circles, okay, would it take to fill up the entire surface of this sphere? Well, how many do you think? I'll give you a second to guess. Okay, so it's 4 circles. So 4 circles. Okay, so if we took stickers of this circle right here and we just pasted them on top of this sphere, it would take 4 of them to fill up this sphere. So the formula for the surface area of a sphere would be 4 pi r squared. So surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So put this in your notebooks, highlight it, make a power card on it. So surface area of a sphere is 4 circles make up the surface of a sphere. So let's find the surface area of this actual sphere. Whenever you see a line that goes from a point on the sphere and straight through the center or the core all the way to the other, that wouldn't be the radius. Okay, that would be the diameter. So it goes That would be 2 radii that go through the center. So this is the diameter. And how much longer is the diameter to the radius? It's twice as much. So we only want from here to here. So that would be 11. So our radius would be 11. So we'll plug that in. 11 squared and pi. And there's 4 of them that make up the surface. And let's just do some multiplication. So let's take our calculator. 11 squared would be 121. And let's multiply that by 4, which is 484. And don't forget the pi. And then let's look at it. The units is inches. And remember, it's the number of squares that fits on the surface. So there's your final answer for surface area of a sphere. And of course, if you want to get it in decimals, go to mode, make sure it's in classic and second and quit, and type in 484 pi, and there's your decimal answer. So approximately 1,520.5 squares fits on the surface. There you go. There's the surface area of a sphere. Hope this helps. Have a great day.